No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, know that you are not alone and someone cares for you. As an individualization of divine point of view, this door is open to you. This door is open. This door right here, this door is open to you. Is open for you. This door is open to you. This door is open. I'm talking about this door. This door is open. I said this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Melbourne, a positive path for spiritual living. I want to affirm that something good, something wonderful is going to happen to you because you decided to be here and celebrate the God of your understanding with us today. Please stand and join us. Let's have a song.
Joyful, joyful Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of love. Awesome Lord, I bow before thee, open to the Son of love. Joyful, joyful Lord, we adore thee.
Good morning, everybody. So, I'll just wait till some people get seated. So, how about if we come together for a moment of prayer? So, I just know there is one life, one divine presence, one presence that's in and through each and every one of us. So, this morning, I just bless the opportunity to be here for each and every one of us to take another divine, loving step along our sacred spiritual journey. And I know that everyone here hears something they absolutely need to hear. They speak words, all of us, that need to be spoken. And we touch lives and make a difference for each other, for one another. And I bless each of us that are here. I bless people that are in temples, mosques, wherever they are in nature, and know that Spirit blesses and speaks through each and every one of us. And so for this and so much more, I just give thanks and I let it be, and so it is.
Well, good morning, everybody. Nice to see you all. Wasn't that just a wonderful opening act this morning? Yeah. So I'm Beth Lambden, and I am your platform assistant this morning. I bet that's obvious. So, and welcome to everybody online, and welcome to everyone who comes weekly. And for anyone who is new, we are delighted that you are here. If you are new, would you raise your hand so that we can
see you and make sure and welcome you. All right, glad that you're here. And we have a gift bag for you, so we'll make sure that you have that before you leave. And please hang around after the service. I think you'll find that we're a sociable, friendly bunch. So it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today. It's the Reverend Ron Fox, and he has been with us before, but I wanted to go over his impressive bio, and it's abbreviated, of course. So Ron Fox has been a motivational speaker and workshop facilitator for over 25 years. He had a long and successful career as a human resource executive, working for such companies as General Foods, GlaxoSmithKline, Unum, and Mattel Toys. Ron also operated a very successful search firm in Southern California. Ron is also an ordained minister with the Centers for Spiritual Living. He's a gifted speaker and published author. His inspirational style, coupled with a keen sense of humor, make him a favorite with audiences everywhere he has spoken. In 2018, the Centers for Spiritual Living honored him by designating him a Doctor of Divinity, and in 2019, he was awarded the Meritorious Minister Award for his outstanding service. In 2024, he was honored with the title of Emeritus Minister. He resides in Port St. John, Florida, with his wife Becky, who is an artist and graphic designer, as well as a CSL practitioner emeritus. Yeah, so we're glad to have you here today, Reverend Ron. So for anyone who has a Facebook account, we invite you to check in, let your friends know that you're Unity of Melbourne, at Unity of Melbourne. Please follow, like, and follow our page. We appreciate that. And for those of you watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and leave us a comment. We are always appreciative of that too. So, important, you can now also donate to Unity of Melbourne on Facebook. Just scroll down to the donate link. We try and make it easy. So, as many of you know, we have this big, broad, inclusive why statement. So we also have it on postcards that are out in the foyer. Please help yourself to them, and virtual viewers, you can request one via the chat window or send a message. So would you join me in affirming our why statement that starts with we? So we love and accept ourselves and others and heal our world. And I'll be talking about our what's, or how we manifest our good works in the world later on during the announcements. So, Wendy, would you be willing to shut the door all the way? Thank you. I am easily distracted. So we invite you, we are blessing all the children in the world. So I invite you to join together as we bless all the children in the world and say together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. And thank you for that reminder, which I did forget to mention. Appreciate that. So in our service, too, we also read the daily word. I'll read it first in English, and then Ariel's going to read it for us today in Spanish. So the daily word is creative, and it is October 27th, 2024. And I'm going to ask you to affirm that first line with me after I read the text. Stunning visual arts, inspirational music, a brilliant performance, these are all lovely examples of creativity, but they are no means the only ones. Creativity is the very nature of life. From the most soaring, soul-inspiring instants to the mundane moments that fill daily life, creative acts abound. Creative activities are prayers in action. Oh, I like that. A continuation of divine activity in its infinite manifestation. Living is a creative act. It's the way I am in the world, the way I love, and the way I relate to all others. Understanding it in this way, I see how I am using my thoughts, feelings, and imagination to create my experiences. I bring my divine gifts to life through my creativity. And this is from Genesis. Then God said, let us make humankind into our image according to our likeness, and let them have dominion. So would you join with me in affirming the first line? The creative energy of spirit expresses through me. Thank you. Ariel.
Muy buenos días. Y buenos días a los que están conectados con nosotros a través de las líneas. La palabra diaria para hoy, domingo, octubre 27, es creatividad. La afirmación: la energía creativa del Espíritu se expresa a través de mí. Artes visuales impresionantes, música inspiradora, una actuación brillante, todos estos son ejemplos de creatividad, pero no son los únicos. La creatividad es la esencia misma de la vida, desde los momentos más elevados e inspiradores para el alma hasta los instantes cotidianos de la vida. Los actos creativos están por doquier. La creatividad es una forma de expresar la actividad divina en acción. Vivo creativamente manifestando amor y relaciones con el mundo y los demás. Al entenderlo de esta manera, veo cómo uso mis pensamientos, sentimientos e imaginación para crear mis experiencias. Doy vida a mis talentos a través de mi creatividad divina. Esta reflexión de hoy está inspirada en Génesis capítulo 1, verso 26. Hagamos al hombre a nuestra imagen y semejanza, que domine en toda la tierra. Amén.
Now's the time in our service when we prepare for meditation. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I want to know you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to see you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to hear you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to feel you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to praise you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to love you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I'm raising the veil.
So the meditation that I'm going to read is from the book Spiritual Liberation by Reverend Michael Beckwith. In this moment of quietude, this moment of devotion, this moment of resolve, I surrender. I let go of all that would inhibit my realization of my oneness with the Spirit. I allow myself to feel that I'm living, moving, and having my being in the divine presence. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, being itself. And I now allow it to express in and through me, to be me, the real me. I now arise from the mists of illusion and release all obstructions to a realization of my wholeness my completeness. I release anything that would hinder, block, delay, or obstruct the divine from flowing through and me right now. Just as electricity is invisible unless it's shining through a light bulb, God is everywhere now, becoming visible through my hands, feet, through my generosity, my forgiveness, my love. It is in this awareness that I throw myself wide open and become available to the Spirit of God, the Spirit of life, the Spirit of love, to transform my consciousness. I speak this word knowing that my life is a dynamic emanation of my source. It is so activated within me that something wonderful is taking place. A freedom song sings through me now. It's a song of infinite potential and divine possibility. I am in league with pure spirit, the conscious co-creation of my life and body of affairs. I am a distribution center of generosity, joy, love, forgiveness, and beauty. I was born free and now enter the depths of my soul to discover my freedom. It is done, and so it is.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. 20 feet down the road is all I can see, but it's all that I need with 10,000 miles to go. 'Cause I know the light that's burning inside of me. Within there's a mother. Within there's a father. Within there's a love. You know you reap what you sow, and so I believe with one little seed, bigger, better, beautiful grows. 'Cause I see the faithful have all they'll ever need. Within there's a
50 below. And all I can see is hunger and need, and my eyes won't cry in the cold. I remember the fire burning inside of me. Within, there's a mother. Within, there's a father. Within, there's a love. Within, there's a mother. Within, there's a father. Within, there's a love. Within, you know it's always within. Come on and look within. Within.
Well, if you weren't awake before, you are now, huh? So I want to speak today about change, embracing change, and I want to look at it from a couple of different areas. You know, the reality is, instead of fearing change, we need to embrace it and see how we can make it work for us, because every loss, every difficulty is an opportunity for us to grow if we're willing to be open to it. And I think we all know life doesn't stay the same, and security isn't really secure. And most people don't regret the risks that they took. They regret the risks that they didn't take. And James Robinson wrote, "Greatness in the last analysis is largely bravery, courage in escaping from old ideas and standards and respectable ways of doing things." In other words, we need to step out of our comfort zone. And we all know by now that life doesn't happen the way we'd always like it to. So last year, around this time actually, Becky and I went to see the play Into the Woods. And at the end of the first act, Cinderella marries her prince, Red Riding Hood escapes from the wolf, and Jack is safe after killing the giant. The second act reminds us that many people don't get what they want out of life. The prince cheats on Cinderella, and he tells her, "I was raised to be charming, not faithful." The giant's wife comes down after Jack, and a lot of people die, and some are pretty unhappy. And the message of the play is, life can hurt. So here's the question. How do we handle it when our dreams don't come true? Do we define ourselves by our dreams or by our difficulties? And where do we get the courage to hang on? Remember Christopher Reeve, the actor who played Superman? After he was paralyzed, he considered committing suicide. And his wife told him, "Chris, don't let this define you." Every one of us is more than anything that can ever happen to us. So I read a few years ago about a college professor who on the first day of class said to her class, "I want to get to know you all better. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to write 2 one-page essays that'll help me do that." And here are the 2 topics that she told them to write on. The first one is, everything I've ever done has led me to where I find myself today. And the second one was, only after many surprises and choices detours and disappointments that I have arrived at somewhere I could never have anticipated. And whenever I read that second one, I think about my dad, because my dad and I were really close. And he died when I was 28. But I often think if he came back, he would come over and look at me and go, long hair. An earring. A couple of tattoos. A minister of what? And he'd have a heart attack and be gone right away again. Yeah. We get the courage to move from within, from knowing that the creator of all that is right there with us, that we're never, ever alone, and that we're all of us are the result of how we use spiritual law. And we can use it to create the life that we want. And we do that by consciousness, by the vessel that we provide for spirit. And so to speak, the bigger the vessel, the grander the life. So I want to touch on another area of change. And I want to begin with a quote from a lady named Estelle Frankel. And she said, ultimately, the whole and the broken live side by side in us. So some of you may have heard of Rachel Remen. Rachel Remen is an MD who moved from strictly practicing medicine to doing counseling. And so one day a woman comes to see her, and this woman had pretty much given up on life. She stopped cooking, she stopped cleaning, she didn't garden anymore. She sat around all day in her bathrobe and looked out the window. And the doctor had even prescribed tranquilizers for her, and even they didn't work. And so Rachel said to her on the first visit, so why are you here? And the woman says, I'm here because my husband died. And Rachel says to her, if he was here now, what would you say to him? And she said, I tell him what my life is like now, what it's like to go to all our special places alone. I tell him how hard it is to try to learn the things that he used to do, what it's like to walk the dog alone, to sleep in bed alone. I'm really angry. He broke his promise to me. He told me that we would age together. And he was my teacher of love. And then Rachel said to her, what do you think he would say to you if he was here now about the way you've lived your life these last 2 years? And she thinks for a bit and she says, I think he'd say, Enid, why have you built a monument of pain for me? My whole life was about love. And then she turned to Rachel and she said, maybe there's a better way I can remember him. I saw this definition of grief that I really love. Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness or a lack of faith. It's the price of love. You know, every loss demands that we choose again. We need to grieve because grieving allows us to heal. We let go of the things that we've lost. We mourn them and then we rebuild. So I said I wanted to talk about this in a couple of different ways, so I kind of want to change topics. Years ago, a minister friend came to me and she said, I have this theory about ministers' messages. And I said, what? And she said, I think, well, we speak on a lot of different topics, but I think that most ministers have 2 or 3 topics that really speak to their heart, and so they speak those in different ways. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, she's right. And I thought, well, what are mine? And I thought, well, mine are like living your dream, creating the life you want, continuing to grow, finding your purpose and living it. And then a few years ago, Becky and I were having coffee with one of our congregants at Osario's. You know where that is? And this congregant turned to me and she said, would you like some feedback? And immediately I knew this ain't gonna be good. And I really wanted to say no, but I said, sure. And she said, I think you're a really good speaker, but I don't think your topics are relevant for our congregation. She said, our people are too old for what you speak about. They don't want to hear about living their dream or living their life with purpose and passion. We're done with that. And it may be funny to you, but it wasn't to me when she gave me that feedback. It really, honestly, it really shook me up, because we went home and I said to Becky, why am I here? They might like the way I talk, but if they don't like the content, what am I doing here? Am I wasting everybody's time? And we talked about it, and thank God she got me past it. But I want to talk about aging for a minute, because that's a change we all go through. So, not you, huh? Oh. Now I know you for a couple of years, and you do look a lot older than when I first met you. Columbia University researchers did a study a few years ago on the relationship between aging and learning new things. And what they found was age has nothing to do with whether or not you can learn new things. And the only people that had a difficult time, the only older people that had a difficult time learning new things, were people who used their age as an excuse. I want to hit you with a statistic. By 2030, which is 5 years, a little bit more than 5 years away, there will be 72 million people in the United States 65 years or older, 19% of the population. So the idea that life goes downhill after a certain age is no longer true, because we're all living longer. And if that's what you believe, if you think that life stops at some point, you might have a lot of empty years to look forward to. So I want to give you an example. So Beck and I used to live in Southern California. And when we did, I had a business friend that, his name was Scott. So I'll tell you a little bit about Scott. Scott was tall, he was really good looking, had a terrific job, he lived in a nice house, he was single, and he had a lot of things going for him. And one day, one of my friends said to me, "Did you hear what Scott's doing?" And I said, no, what? And he said, you're not going to believe this. Scott's moving to Cleveland. Now, I have lived in 8 states, and I like Florida, but in my experience, nothing compares with Southern California. So to hear that this guy that had all of this going for him was leaving there and moving to Ohio where it's flat and cold and, you know. So when I got home, I called up Scott. And as soon as he heard me, he said, oh, geez, Rod, I've been meaning to call you because I want to talk to you. He said, obviously you've heard. And I said, yes, Scott, I heard. Now tell me what's going on. And he said, a while back, I was thinking about life, and I realized that life's too long. And I said, Scott, most people say life's too short. And he said, well, they're wrong. And I said, tell me what you mean. And he said, hey, look at me. He said, I'm young. I'm in really good health. I can live a really long time, Ron. I can live a long time after I retire. And it hit me, I might spend those years alone and lonely and not so happy. And about a year ago, I was at a conference and I met somebody, and I love her. I don't have family here. Her whole family is in Cleveland. So I realized I had a choice. Say bye-bye and keep doing what I'm doing, or let love rule my life. So I'm in love, kiddo, and I'm moving. So when I knew I was going to talk about this, I Googled him. And now he's retired. I didn't get to speak to him. I had found 3 phone numbers and none of them worked. So I didn't get to speak to him, but he's retired and he's still living there. So he must be having a better life than he thought he was going to have if he just stayed who he was in Southern California. You know, no matter how old we are, we're never too old to ask the question, who would I like to be? You know, where do you place your attention on what you lost or what you can have? In the book, 6 Questions That Can Change Your Life, Joseph Nowicki asks, who am I? Why am I here? Where do I belong? Who do I love? Who loves me? How can I be true to myself? There isn't an age limit for asking those questions. So what are some things we can do to live a great life as we age? So I'll tell you 5 things that I thought of. You know, we could step out of our comfort zone. It doesn't mean turning your life upside down, but it means trying something different. Don't keep doing what's safe and familiar, because if you do, you never grow. We can get committed. Have a vision for your life. Write it down. I know Becky and I did that a couple of years ago, and at least once a year, sometimes twice a year, one of us will say, we need to look at the vision, and we check it and say, what's still relevant? What have we done? What do we want to do? We can change how we look at things. What if we saw aging as not the end, but the beginning of a whole new era with all its challenges and all its rewards? We can treat ourselves with compassion. So when we do incur changes, we can accept them and we can see what's next. And lastly, we can hang out with like-minded people. So I want to close with something. This is really funny. I've seen this online from three different people claiming it with three different titles. So I'll just tell you who I saw first. This is a lady named Veronica Robinson, and it's titled, Barely the Day Started. Barely the day started, and it's already 6 p.m. Barely arrived on Monday, and it's already Friday. And the month is already over, and the year is almost over, and already 40, 50, 60 years of our lives have passed. And we realized we lost parents, friends, and we realized it's too late to go back. So let's try, despite everything, to enjoy the remaining time. Let's keep looking for activities we like. Let's put some color in our gray. Let's smile at the little things in life that put balm in our hearts. And despite everything, we must continue to joy with serenity this time we have left. It's time to eliminate the afters. I'm doing it after. I'll say that after. I'll think about it after. We leave everything for later, like later is ours. Because what we don't understand is, afterwards, the coffee gets cold. Afterwards, priorities change. Afterwards, the charm is broken. Afterwards, health passes. Afterwards, the kids grow up. Afterwards, parents get old. Afterwards, promises are forgotten. Afterwards, the day becomes night. Afterwards, life ends. And then it's often too late. Let's leave nothing for later, because still waiting for see you later, we can lose the best moments, the best experiences, the best friends, the best family. The day is today. The moment is now. God bless you. Thank you. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you. And I'll say, I like your content. Yeah. Hello, like-minded and like-hearted people. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, I love this part of our service. And thank you again, Reverend Ron. I love this part of the service where we intentionally take stock of our many blessings. And so thank you, everyone who made this service possible, from the folks in the booth to our musicians to hospitality. When I start naming names, I leave people out, so I don't want to do that. But it takes many to bring this off every Sunday. And I am very grateful. And I know I'm not alone in that. So, and I'm mostly grateful for your presence. So I appreciate that. So as you bring your donation to the front, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute, you have lots of ways to be able to give generously to Unity of Melbourne. Please come up, whether you have a donation or not, bless the basket, and take an affirmation. So, and if you are uncomfortable in coming to the front, we have a setup in the back so that you can use that too. So, we have a slide before I'm going to ask you to do the blessing with me on the ways to give. Just a quick review. You can write a check made out to Unity of Melbourne and drop it in the offering basket or mail it to us. We accept debit and credit cards in the sanctuary, and Judy and Terry are happy to help you with that process. For those in our virtual congregation, you can donate through your checking account, debit, credit card, through the donate button in the upper right corner of our website, unityofmelbourne.com. And we do ask if you give online. It helps us a lot if you would be willing to pay the payment processing fee. It helps us, and we're appreciative of that. So thank you. So if you would join me in the prosperity affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. I am grateful. Please come forward.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. And Stony. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. We have Ashton on the drums today. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything. Affirm it with us one more time all together. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Please stand and sing with us. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me. Gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
So we're going to bless the offering. So I give thanks for the generous spirit that flows through each of us, recognizing that we are channels of divine abundance. And as we offer these gifts, we affirm that they are seeds sown in love, destined to multiply and bless many. May these offerings enrich our community and extend the reach of peace, joy, and unity. We know that as we give, we receive, for the universe is ever expanding in its goodness. With grateful hearts, we release these gifts, trusting in the infinite flow of divine supply. And so it is.
Kate, you want to come up? Yeah, so brief announcements forthcoming are what's? Come on up, Kate.
I'll go first for announcements. First of all, a couple of weeks ago when we had the town hall meeting, I said something I'd really like to see is more events for fellowship. Well, boy, did Kimberly step up to the plate, okay? She organized, what was it called? Karaoke. And yesterday, the sanctuary was filled with all kinds of costumes. We had Barbie, pink. We had Jim Barbie. We had dragons and Dungeons and Dragons and a clown. And the music was all over the board. We had everything from Adele to Billie Eilish to some music I've never heard before. So it was very entertaining. There was cookie decorating and food, pizza, and it was a lot of fun. And the nice thing is she's doing an encore. So it's again today from 4 to 7, and you can wear a costume. You don't have to wear a costume, but if you want to see something a little different, come on out. The other thing is, in the spirit of fellowship, I wanted to do something outside the church. So I went looking, like a lot of churches, they do picnics, right? But a picnic's a lot of work. And it requires a lot of volunteers. And I went looking, and I found the nicest little gem of a museum up in Cocoa. It's, I forget what it's called, actually, but it has dinosaurs, a train display, the Hubble display. It's got the bog bodies. And if you've never heard of the bog bodies, it's an exhibit. They don't actually have the bodies. But it's very I learned a lot, and it's all from Florida. So we've arranged to do that on November 16th, on a Saturday. And we have I'm doing old-fashioned, pen and pencil. There's a board, on the how, why, and what board. You can sign up, and it's free. So bring a friend, bring family members, and if you bring your own lunch, that's great. If you don't, we can provide lunch, but it's $10. But you just need to let us know. And if you want a docent tour, which I think I'm going to try to do, but it's an hour and a half. And so you got to be prepared to stand for an hour and a half. But I think it's probably worth it if you can do it. So I hope you sign up. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you can participate.
What time's the tour?
I can arrange the tour. I was thinking 11 o'clock. Okay. And then we would have lunch at 12:30. They have a pavilion in the back. They have a butterfly garden. And it's all free. So come on out.
Thanks. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I have been there before, and I can attest it's worth doing. It is worth doing. It's almost it's very close to the campus of Eastern Florida State over there in Cocoa. So, all right. So thank you, Kate. So Kate already referenced, I'm just going to call it our information wall. You know it. It's out there in the foyer. If you want to sign up for something, please do, and we'll make sure that you get registered. So, oh boy, election. Have you noticed that we have an election coming up? Oh my goodness. How many emails do you get a day for? We have a contest here. Anyway, tune out the fear. Tune in the vision. So you can, still not too late to join. I mean, I just did this last week. I'm embarrassed to admit that it was so late, but I did. So you can either join by texting, and the number, you can read it behind me, or you can also go online, and it is www.myelectionintention.com. And there's all kinds of wonderful information and meditations. So as we approach the big day. And then today, our beloved Pat Raso and Maggie Roche are facilitating a workshop called New Rules for End of Life Care and the Conversation. And I have light refreshments written down. Is that true? There are light refreshments? Yes. So please come for that. It's going to be pretty much right after the service, right, to get started? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, close to it. Yeah, give or take a few minutes. Did you hear Pat? She said figure in unity time. So, all right, please remember to feed the kitty so that we can continue to provide all the wonderful things that we do every single Sunday. So your tips make it possible to keep that going. So Kate already mentioned karaoke, so that's the next slide. Thank you. So as you know, please note it's going on still today. So please come to that. And I have 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Kim? What? Yeah, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Be here. All right, next slide, Qigong. offered by our own Linda Boyd. Thank you very much. So Qigong classes are held in the light room every Wednesday at 1. And it's wonderful practice. Reduces stress, strengthens the immune system, increases energy, improves flexibility and balance. It can't go wrong. And it has a bunch of other really helpful effects. So please come. If you'd like more information, you can reach out to Linda. You see her information on the screen, and she is also here. New member orientation is coming up. Lots going on this fall. So that's Sunday, November 10th, after the service, facilitated by Maggie. So, if you're curious, please come. If you've been coming a while, there's still, I think that you would find it very helpful. So I have it down at noon on November 10th. And it is the first step in becoming a voting member of this spiritual community. So there is that too. So please come, and please, you can use a drop box in hospitality to indicate your interest. I was almost missing this. All right, so continuing the theme with Maggie. Not too early to start thinking about the holidays. And our goal is not to add to the stressful to-do list. Instead, we want you to treat yourself to a metaphysical makeover. Reclaim your 12 powers with Maggie Roche in a 5-week journey beginning November 5th and 6th. So Tuesday here at the church and the 6th Wednesday online, right? Yeah, virtually. So sign up now, and the link is on the page as well as on our board. All right, so Kate spoke to the event on November 16th in Cocoa. It's 2201 Michigan Avenue. So happy to give you the address after the service from 10:30 until 1:30. So please come to that. So I think that concludes our announcements for today. Yay! So, yay! All right, place of prayer. And I see Sophia with your stole. Yes, we have dedicated members of our prayer team who are willing and happy to pray with you. Please take advantage of that. It's wonderful. And prayer requests are out in the foyer on the prayer table. And if you're not getting the twice-a-month prayer call, please do make sure and sign up for that. So I think that's it. We're at our prayer for protection. So if you would rise as you're able. Oh,
Ron
forgot
just
something.
said that next Saturday is daylight savings. Is that
Okay.
indeed true?
Oh, yeah.
So if it's true, then your clocks are going to have to
Fall back. Spring ahead, fall back.
fall back.
Fall
Which
back.
means if you don't change your clock, you'll be here for band practice.
Yeah, early. You'll be here an hour early.
Okay,
So just-
thank you. Man, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So now our prayer for protection. Yay. All right. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The mind of God guides me. The life of God flows through me. The laws of God direct me. The power of God abides within me. The joy of God uplifts me. The strength of God renews me. The beauty of God inspires me. Wherever I am, God is.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let great week, everybody.